Good morning, podcast world. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to watch and listen to me and two global supply chain and technology juggernauts in a very personal venture into why they're with me today, outside of the safety net of their former executive corporate responsibilities. I'm going to have each of these titans introduce themselves in just a moment. I'm going to start off with myself. My name is Faryal, and I'm going to be your host today. So I graduated back in 2022 with a bachelor's degree in marketing from Georgia State University. I'm the oldest of three siblings, and my family is originally from Pakistan. I started with CSCS back in February of 2022 as a marketing intern, and then became a full-time team member with a focus on social media. I'm very excited for today's discussion. I've had the opportunity to work with both of these gentlemen in the past year, delving deeply into their backgrounds and focus on the next chapters of their professional lives is going to provide us a lot of learnings and lessons for our audience. So I'm going to start out with the founder of the Leverage Supply Chain Group, David Quintilio. David, can I ask you to give us a brief introduction of yourself and your company?
Thank you, Faryal. Wow, juggernaut. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but I appreciate that. I am David Quintilio, founder and president of Leverage Supply Chain Group. And I did retire from UPS after 36 years of service. Wonderful company, wonderful experience, but happy I am part of the Leverage Supply Chain Group with a wonderful connections with our channel partners, as well as a wonderful collection of expert advisors in our consortium. Now, I won't mention the date I graduated like you did. I would prefer to leave that anonymous, but I did attend NC State University to get my bachelor's and then Georgia State University to get my MBA, and have been here in Georgia since about the year 2000. I'm originally from North Carolina with my wife, Tammy, and my son, Dylan Quintilio, who is part of the Oglethorpe University and was part of Leverage Supply Chain Group and CSCS when we had a couple of folks from Oglethorpe as our interns this summer, turns out. So proud to be here and part of the podcast today. I appreciate everybody tuning into the podcast with your valuable time. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Faryal.
Okay, well, thank you, David. I really appreciate your story and your insight. So I'm going to stick to saying you are a juggernaut. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you all now to Mansoor Khan, who is our titan and the man who founded Cloud Supply Chain Solutions. Mansoor, can you please provide our audience with your brief introduction as well?
Thank you, Faryal. Thank you, David. It's been a great journey with CSCS. I know, it's been more than 3 years of great experience after founding CSCS. My background comes from Manhattan Associates, most of my supply chain from Manhattan Associates to begin with, 16 plus years there. Performed different roles, including technical, leadership, R&D, implementations, dealt with large scale customers, lots of experience, great company. As you mentioned, UPS, a lot of Manhattan Associates, it's a great company. And been living in USA for about 20 years, originally from India. Did my master's in computer application from one of the university in India. I don't want to name the whole city name and everything I'm from southern part of India. Great university, great education, got a breakthrough right after completing my master's in one of the reputed companies in India, worked in Australia for about 3 years before coming to US. Speaking of the family, we very recently, a couple of weeks ago, we blessed with a baby boy, making the number even. I had 2 girls and a boy. Now we made it even. 2 girls and 2 boys, and all range. I have kids. My daughter goes to high school, another daughter in middle school. My son goes in elementary, and the son in the diaper now. So we have all range when it comes to the family. Glad, another way how we have been growing within CSCS. Fantastic journey, great partners like David and his extended team from Leverage. Great leadership, a lot of great things happening, and expecting it to grow furthermore, and then planning to continue the same excitement with the team as well as with my partners and of course my customers. With that, Priyal, back to you.
Thank you, Mansoor. We're so excited to meet the newest member of the Khan family and welcome him into CSCS. And thanks for turning the vision of your dreams into a reality. So, David, from our previous discussion, retired executive, and you seem to have had been bored after just 17 minutes of retirement. Explain how you met Mansoor and how it came to be that you and your team now have offices in the CSCS headquarters.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Farial. And for those in podcast land, Farial works here with us in the CSCS building. So I was telling her that I was bored when I tried to retire. After about 17 minutes, I decided this is not working. I was antsy and ready to get back into the supply chain world. So I did start Leverage Supply Chain Group. I was working with a lot of wonderful clients and partners, and then happened through a mutual friend to become acquaintances with Mansoor, and we started talking. And just the passion that Mansoor had for CSCS, for his people, for the people at CSCS, as well as the people that were customers of Mansoor, really was taken aback by that passion within the whole organization. And so whenever you find a startup company that passionate, you really want to help. And so that was exciting and invigorating to me, coming from a large corporate environment to a startup environment like CSCS and Mansoor, that I said, you guys can close gaps that I've seen within the supply chain over the past, as I mentioned, 36 years, but especially recently with the developments in technology, CSCS is on the cutting edge of that, and their solutions are amazing, from a warehouse management system to a TMS to integration, and really becoming an integral partner with any size organization to really create an environment for them to be successful from a technology standpoint. So that became ingrained in me, that I wanted to help bring that to the market. And so that's how we became partners in this venture of really helping CSCS take it to market, where we know we had partners that need this to really close the gaps in their supply chains.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you for explaining that, David. So Mansoor, what about the board retired UPS executive was it that interested you? Why did you decide to align with the Leverage Supply Chain Group? And what about David and his organization was it that interested you?
Yeah, thanks, Miguel. A lot of reasons. I'll try to spell a few here, right? As we rightfully call gaps. That's been our core foundational principle of supply chain solutions, where we know that in the industry of supply chain, many systems, many applications, traditional applications, always there, but there were still gaps existing. None of them solved it completely. And we thought that with cloud and with those gaps as a pain point or the challenges for the customer, we considered that as an opportunity. Along with our passion, we thought we can very well provide that solution to our customer. And that's when our startup journey started. When I started, from the technical background and from all that experience, what I was missing or what we were missing is the leadership guidance, the strategic leadership experience, where somebody like David, who spent 36 years with UPS, has seen way more challenges and different kinds of whether it is mergers, whether it is new customer onboarding, whether it is technological change. All that's something which they have experienced and lived through. I wanted some kind of mentorship of that to the table. As much as team is looking out for me, I also know that I needed that leadership guidance And that's when I happened to meet through, as you mentioned, common friend, I happened to meet David. And when we were talking, like, I showed everything from our vision, everything what we have done or what we are planning to do. I put it very transparent, put it onto the table on my very first conversations and then extended conversations. And I was very open about it. I was very transparent about it, like, what we have done so far, what we are looking to do, what we don't have. And that actually helped us start on a right positive note, because we started with transparency, we started with trust, and then he knows the level of commitment myself and my team is bringing to the table to the customers. And that's it. I mean, those things, like, immediately created a vibe, and we started talking more. And we were also moving into this new building right around the time. Then we got an opportunity to spend time together in person, and the journey started. And it's been a great mentorship and guidance from his leadership. And thank you, David, for continuing the support. We learned a lot, and there's still many more to be learned on that space. So no brainer. Simple answer for y'all, no brainer.
That's awesome insight. Thank you, Mansoor. It's very clear that there is a great deal of value for both organizations through this channel partner relationship. There must be some learnings along the way, though. So this is going to be my last question for both of you. It is a two-parter, so just try to keep up. The first part is, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently when venturing out on your own after your corporate assignments? And the second part is, what does the future look like for both CSCS and LSCG within the next 5 years? I'm going to start with Mansoor, so give us a quick sneak peek into your crystal ball.
I thought you did, but no, yeah. So from a vision for y'all, like, there are, the team wise, like, we have a great team, and there are a lot more we think, or we are confident that we are going to be achieving down the lane. And with the right team, we know we can serve the customer in a way better way. Like, we have the right technology, we know the trust and the commitment. We definitely confident that, like, we're able to deliver tech savvy solutions, addressing the right problem of the customer and figuring out some of the challenges proactively and addressing them, right? Our vision is to expand this team in a larger scale, outreach our solutions with more customers, and expand this to the next level where we are the go-to person in the market for supply chain, especially on the logistic and warehouse management and the supporting order management and integration space. So we want to have our brand, which stands for trust and commitment, which stands for the customer's best experience, and in a much reasonable cost. There are players where might be providing some similar service, it all comes with a higher premium. Our goal is to provide that premium quality service at a much reasonable cost to our customers. And then we want to stay always with the technology which is there, like, the latest and greatest technology, and how that technology can be used or can be used, put in place to solve a business challenge of a customer. Like, many a time we see that technology advancement happens, does not related match to the customer's solution. Sometimes customer is having a challenge, supporting technology is there, but the team or the supporting folks are not able to marry that together and take the value out of it. Our goal is to put the technology and the customer challenges together and use the best technology to solve the customer's challenges. And then with the leadership and the guidance, like leverage supply chain group from David and his team, we get that strategic vision, like, how things need to be done rather than tactical. How can we look at the problem or the challenge in a strategic way, plan steps, put it in place, and deliver to the customer. David, you can add anything on top of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can tell by listening to Mansoor why we decided to join forces here and take things to market, by his passion and really the description of how they work. Now, as far as how I would do things differently, I may have started 17 minutes earlier, but other than that, I think everything worked out from leaving the corporate environment and venturing out on my own. So as I mentioned before, I've been fortunate to have folks like my partner Mike Borgerson, as well as the additional folks that we brought on as expert advisors join Leverage Supply Chain Group, and the channel partners. I couldn't be happier with the partners we have. With Mansoor and CSCS as the original cornerstone partner. But when you talk about 6 channel partners that fill various gaps within a supply chain, that was the vision. And it's really this consortium of supply chain gap fillers or providers that really marry up to what was frustrating back at UPS supply chain, trying to help my hundreds of clients in their supply chain, and really identifying those gaps that they had that we couldn't fill, or they couldn't fill, and now really vetting the folks from a channel partner side that have the solutions, as Mansoor said, at a significant value within the market, whether that's cost or additional value that's provided. It's been phenomenal to see some of the new solutions that are out there, whether it's robotics, automation, technology, so forth, AI, everything that's out there now that we didn't have in the past from the corporate environment. The good thing is, and the fortunate thing is, we're able to use discretion in who we partner with and who we bring on. And by discretion and everything, I tell the folks at Leverage is everything's discretionary. And so when we look at a channel partner, we've got to vet them, and we've got to make sure this is something that really impacts the market potentially from a gap filling standpoint. And if it doesn't do that, the discussion's over to begin with. And if there's concern about anything from a, let's call it a cultural fit with Leverage Supply Chain Group or the other channel partners, then that's an immediate no-go. So the discretion that's involved really creates a good partnership, as this week came about that Mansoor and one of our other channel partners and Leverage all went to a potential client to really help them with their supply chain together as a group. That's the vision that I have. And 5 years from now, that vision is to really make it seamless for our customers and our channel partners to really go help the customers from a supply chain standpoint fill all of their gaps.
That's amazing, David. Thank you, both David and Mansoor. These are awesome goals for both the Leverage and the CSCS team, and I'm so here for it. All right, well, I think that's a perfect place to end today's discussion. Thank you both, David and Mansoor, for sharing your thoughts and insights. And thank you for our audience for watching and listening. There are so many exciting things happening here at both organizations, and you will be hearing a lot more from us in the upcoming weeks. We'll see you later.